Welcome back. A Kerala court recently granted bail to an accused in a sexual harassment case, saying that the charges did not stand because the complainant wore sexually provocative dresses. This is not the only case where such a shocking observation was made by an Indian court. There have been several instances where judges have passed orders that have raised eyebrows. Ashmit Kumar has put together all the controversial orders passed by courts in the recent past.
The Indian judiciary has on some occasions displayed a surprisingly uncomfortable relationship with women's rights and their ability to exercise agency. The Supreme Court has issued guidelines on gender sensitivity, but despite Supreme Court prescriptions, there has been a spurt of court orders and observations that can only be described as sexist and misogynistic. We take a look at 5 such instances in the last 3 months alone. In an order on September 1st, the Kerala High Court, while deciding a marital dispute, the judge took the opportunity to preach to the youth. The order reads, and I quote, Kerala was once famous for its well-knit family bondage, but the present trend, it seems, to break the nuptial tie or flimsy or selfish reasons or for extramarital relationships unmindful of their children. The order further adds, nowadays, the younger generation think that marriage is an evil that could be avoided to enjoy free life without any liabilities or obligations. They would expand the word wife as worry invited for life, substituting the old concept of wise investment forever. The consumer culture of use and throw seems to have influenced our matrimonial relationships as well. Live-in relationships are on the rise, just to say goodbye when they fell apart. Unquote again, words there coming from the High Court itself. But staying with Kerala, on August 12th, a session court granted anticipatory bail to a 74-year-old activist accused of sexual harassment. Now, as per the court, it's the victim that had to be blamed. The court held, and I quote here again, photos produced reveal that complainant herself is exposing to dresses which are having some sexual provocative one, unquote. Impossible to believe that a man aged at 74 and physically disabled can forcibly put the complainant in his lap, unquote. Now, the accused name is Civik Chandran. The judge's name was S. Krishna Kumar. Bear these names in mind. The reason I ask is because I bring you to case number 3 now. Earlier in August, Civik Chandran, the very same man, again found himself charged with sexual harassment. He was again granted anticipatory bail, again by the same judge, Judge Krishna Kumar. His order this time read, highly unbelievable that he will touch the body of the victim fully knowing that she is a member of scheduled caste, unquote. This judge has now been transferred to a Labour court in Kerala. That brings us to case number 4. We now shift our focus to Allahabad High Court. A father-in-law charged with seeking sexual favours from the daughter-in-law was protected by the High Court. The court slammed the quote-unquote shamelessness of the victim for recounting her experiences in the FIR. Here's how the order read. The order reads, and I quote here again, the graphic and vivid descriptions of the incident without any shame or hitch of any sort speaks out volume of mental condition and amount of venom and poison in the mind of the informant. In our traditional Indian family, where there are residing in a joint family with unmarried son, it is highly improbable and difficult to digest the allegations of demanding sexual favors from her daughter-in-law by the father-in-law or brother-in-law. This brings us to the final case, case number 5. On June 1st, the same High Court, that's the Allahabad High Court, granted bail to a father-in-law charged with raping her daughter-in-law. The High Court cited Indian culture as the accused person's defense. The High Court observed it is quite unnatural that father-in-law shall commit rape of his daughter-in-law in our Indian culture. Now, critics have slammed these orders as instances where the judiciary is furthering misogyny rather than fighting it, and that Supreme Court guidelines being openly flouted by the lower courts should cause alarm bells to ring.
All right. Thank you very much, Ashmit, for getting us all those orders.